guys, what's up and welcome back to this YouTube channel. It's your guy Igor here.
And it's your girl Neetu here.
Guys, today we are in a terrible situation in Canada where the economy is going down and there's big things that are happening. Americans are running into Canada across the border and we are about to get smashed by Trump's tariffs, guys. Today we will cover a little bit of politics, a little bit of things that are happening, and then we will cover a little bit about what's going on the real estate market, because that's very important right now, guys. So the first thing is, Neetu just told me what was the situation on the border with the American guy crossing the border.
I don't know, there was this video where I saw a couple of people crossing the border and they could track the footprints of from the heat sensor, and they were going behind them.
So that's the second event I wanted to cover, but let's start with that one. So a bunch of people underdressed were chased by RCMP, and they actually have a drone footage. Looks like Canada is trying to signal United States that not only that stuff comes to US from Canada, but also people come from US into Canada. And the other part is there was a big chase. That's what I was asking from Neetu. Somebody was chased on a car, okay, from the United States, an American person. Then they went through the farmland and stuff like that, and then the person shot himself. So I don't know what that was about. That's kind of kamikaze stuff, which you would not expect. You know, it's really strange that would be happening, but I guess it's safe if it's safer that way, I guess, from my opinion. But anyways, guys,
but regarding those people who are underdressed, you would think that people would Google Canada and the weather in here, or is it just Canadians that search the weather outside?
I would be walking the other way across the border in this weather, guys. I was shooting a video the other day, and slowly, if you watch that video on my Russian channel, it was as the video progressing, there is a small icicle growing from my nostril like a booger, becoming bigger and bigger and bigger, and progressing through the video. And I know that you'll be not watching the video in such a detail, but when I look myself, I'm like, that's freaking disgusting. And that's Canada for you. So I would probably be not trying to cross into Alberta right now, and that's exactly what they did. Today is another news that Neetu showed me about Justin Trudeau, and she's like, oh, check this out. She's like, what do you think? And I was like, looking at it, where Justin Trudeau was an economic summit, because she was always watching the markets and interest rates and stuff like that, and Justin Trudeau was telling to the business people last minute summit that the solution that Trump sees is to consume Canada completely. So that's not a joke, and that's a real situation. Now, what you going to do about it? Leave a comment down below. But from what I see from economic standpoint, and I was just sharing to Neetu, and Neetu is like, we have to make a video about it, is the builders. So Neetu, this is what the builders are doing. I'll tell you, I went to the builders. I don't want to be naming the builders because it's Canada. Basically, essentially, in US, you can sue the builder for what they're doing. In Canada, if I name the builders, they can probably sue me for calling them out. So we'll keep it to ourselves. But it was in the presence of my client, who is a witness, and myself, where the builder wouldn't give us the pricing for the houses. And in fact, Neetu's friend, during an interview process, one of those oil and gas companies, they said that they're not going to be hiring her friend for that matter until they figure out if the tariffs are coming. So there is uncertainty for employment, and the builder said that they don't know what the prices are. So what I figured out is that the builders are stocking up and hoarding the inventory. They are not wanting to sell some things so that they can hold on to the real estate, create artificial scarcity of the product, of the houses, create shortage, and the opportunity to make money at a higher price, claiming that the tariffs hit pretty hard on their side. And Neetu told me, what did you say was that name for that? I keep on forgetting.
Price gouging.
Neetu was like, that's price gouging. I was like, okay. The MBA is right here in front of me. You can tell that she did MBA, because I'm like, that's just a smart thing. She's like, yeah, that's like a crime. It shouldn't be even legal, but it's Canada and all the stuff that is not supposed to be happening, like in the United States. And what do they do in the United States that you were emphasizing before this video with the Google, Elon Musk, and not Elon Musk, but Mark Zuckerberg and everyone?
Well, they call these people at the Senate, what do you call it? The Parliament, the Senate?
Interrogation, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, and then they put it on live television for everybody to comment on it and mock and whatever. But that's another way of making video content these days. But why is that not happening in Canada? Like, why aren't people questioning the business owners, like, let's say, Weston, President's Choice guy, the guy who was criticized for higher prices, higher grocery prices? I don't know why we are not questioning such people in our parliament. And it's just in our parliament, it's just the left and right wing, shouting at each other. That's all we see. And the governor saying quiet, quiet.
I think it's just like cowardness, honestly, because they are probably afraid to call out the people who pay for their elections on a studio and throw them under the fire to and interrogate them like that. I think it's on one side it's kindness, on the other side it's weakness, and then Trump is looking at that. He's like, like, baby, I'm going to take over Canada if people are going to act like that. And I think that kindness is signaling like weakness to the United States, and trying to say, well, he's joking, he's just bullying, he's just joking. Oh my God, stop the bullying! I want to complain to the principal in school. But I think that guy has repeated it far too many times for it to be a joke, and it's time to embrace the reality that might just happen. And what are you going to do about it? We have to figure out an action plan, how to protect Canadian economy, Canadian consumers, and make, they started talking about, can you imagine that, free trade between provinces? Mm-hmm. Oh, now,
finally, that's happening. The pipeline is going to start getting built between provinces. I don't know, why did we not think about this gazillion years before? I mean, we are coming to that kind of environment or that kind of age into the future where very soon this oil and gas is not going to be required. Like, can you imagine? People are just going to be relying on renewable energy sources like wind, solar, what's the other one?
Gas. I'm for gas
nuclear,
pump, baby
nuclear
pump.
power. So people are going to be relying on that, and that's going to be the next future. And we have these reserves in Alberta, in BC, like gazillion in liters, or I don't know how you call it, a gazillion of them, and
we have more than US.
As deposits, as reserves, that's just stuck up there, and we are just selling them at a discount just because we don't know how to ship it to Asia. We cannot ship it to Europe. I don't know. Guys, it's a disaster. It's just like a similar disaster on how and why are we not having railways for people to travel across Canada. One of the major reasons why there is no interprovincial connection, because it's always either the east or the west. People never really talks about the central part. I don't know why, but
I have a feeling that we have underlying cause and deep and rooted corruption in Canada, with the huge control from United States it penetrated into our government, that we haven't even figured out the fact that we should have, like, I'm an immigrant in Canada. I haven't figured out everything, but it's shocking for me to find out that we don't have a free trade agreement within Canada, and the provinces have better relationship with United States than within Canada. That basically huge indicator of Canada not being entirely sovereign from the trade standpoint and economic standpoint, and US has a major influence over Canadian economy. It's just ridiculous that has been happening, and it guides me to the thinking, because I come from a very corrupt country. I've seen corruption, and it feels to me like almost we are US's backyard. Like, for example, Ukraine was Russia's backyard in a sense, and that is really disturbing to see that.
Most thing that we would like to focus on this video is that in the next 2 weeks, most of the builders are going to cancel on whatever promotion they're going to be having. Let's say a free basement or free upgrades or free deck. Whatever they're going to be having, all is going to be gone. So if you're in the market looking for a new construction home, I think it would be in your best interest to act now.
Well, I don't think all is going to be gone, but it's just a logical conclusion that we are coming into, because hey, it's better not to sell everything at once right now, because there is an opportunity to say, hey guys, the lumber went up like during COVID, this went up, that went up, labor is more expensive, parts are more expensive, the suppliers are in the United States, so we need more money. And yes, it's going to go up in price, but my suspicion is that a lot of people would want to hold back to their inventory and say, let's just wait a little bit, like 30 days left. Let's just wait a little bit, not release this inventory and make more money. Now, I know, guys, that might be illegal, but with the builders, how are you going to prove it? Is their business?
They're not even regulated under the...
I don't know how they are regulated. I'm not a lawyer. We are not lawyers.
But
I'm a realtor with experience. She's a mortgage broker with the Clear Trust Mortgages.
Right. But as per the promotions that they have offered to us right now, under 2,000 square feet, we would have a detached home with a double attached garage, front car garage, right? Somewhere around in the price range of $760. Over 2,000 square feet.
Double detached garage, lane homes, $760. Yes.
No, the front car garage price.
Front car garage, $950,000 with legal basement suite in Seaton Ridge. Or I can't even tell you guys. I mean,
but there are communities that you can get lesser.
$600,000, no garage, rough-in basement, $640,000, $650,000. You can get in a community similar to Hotchkiss, Sora, or Alpine Park is more expensive. Anyways, guys, in terms of Calgary, reach out. There is way too much of information. It will be another 1 hour video to tell you everything. But there are options and there are promotions with some builders where you can get a basement, $30,000 of development, but it's like less and less, and more builders are taking it off. Let's see what happens when the tariffs kick in.
Right. And I don't know, you would think that when a builder buys a plot of land, they would have already ordered lumber, they would have already have their people in place, the contractors, whatever they have to buy, they would have already bought? Or is it bought after the fact when they book a plot? How is it done?
Well, I'm not going to give advices to the builders, but it makes sense to hold on to something like spec homes that are already getting built and not to release those spec homes that they keep on to generate more people coming in as quick possessions to buy actual pre-construction. So it makes sense to slow down on that, hold on, and increase the price, especially on those, because they can increase their profits, right? Potentially by saying that even buying at the current price, but then claiming they got it when the tariffs kicked in, and inflate that and make some extra money on that. That makes sense.
But I think that's the reason why you need someone authorized as a licensed realtor to read that contract before you sign in front of the purchase contract in front of the builder, right? So the realtor would be able to tell you, okay, this exactly is a clause where they are allowed to increase the price. Now,
escalation clause.
Exactly, and that negotiation is a part when only the realtors will be able to understand, or if you are already into the real estate market, maybe you would be able to pinpoint that, but I don't think so. You would be able to negotiate as a homeowner. What do you think?
You can always get a lawyer involved,
right,
but here's the trick. You have to pay that lawyer to get him involved, and the realtor gets paid by the builder.
But what do you think, because of the tariffs coming in, would you really tell homeowners to go for, let's say, for a quicker possession that might be already listed on the MLS? Or do you think that people would have to wait at least 1 hour once everything is built up? I mean, that definitely would have the increased cost, right? I think that would be a bad idea.
I would say the builders are not stupid. The spec homes, quick possessions homes, are naturally cheaper because they are sooner. And most of the builders take the inflation and potential market trends into account for long possessions 1 year in advance. So the price difference goes anywhere between $20,000 to $40,000 versus what you're going to get in April, May right now versus what you're going to get beginning of next year. So builders they're not stupid. People who buy homes, they think they're smarter, but builders are also not stupid. So they put that projection of essentially a forecast of 7% growth of the market into the pricing already. So if you're thinking that you're buying from a builder at the current market rate, it only looks like that because all the builders are kind of competing with each other, but they are all adjusting for that 7% growth. So essentially, yes, you are paying more for waiting more rather than buying a quick possession spec homes that are available on the market right now. So you don't cheat them. It's already there.
Right. But I would also think that if you give a timeline of, let's say, 1 year, let's say the houses that are getting built in 2026 or towards the end of 2025, I think the timeline would be delaying because they would want, if you are locked in the price contract, they would want to maximize on what exactly the cost is for that particular home. And you might have to, if the possession is December, they might be giving you only towards February or March. So I'm pretty sure that would be delayed because of the tariffs.
It's going to be interesting. I'll tell you, Nitu, the reason that people they like to take pre-construction 8 to 12 months for closing. The only reason people do that is, and it's truth, not the only one of the major reason is, they don't have the money right now to buy that house. So they're taking account that it will be, okay, I'm going to secure the current price, and 8 to 12 months later, I'll have enough money. You know, hopefully they did a pre-approval. Hopefully they worked with the mortgage broker.
That's such a gambling thing to do. I would never...
You would not believe how many people think that way. And that's unfortunate. Some people actually gamble like that and lose their entire deposits, and also on top of it get sued. So don't gamble like that. It's very dangerous. But that's kind of a logic of people. A lot of them are like, yeah, it's fine. It's you know, I'm not committing almost anything. I'm committing my deposit and that's it. And they are totally wrong about it. Another good part, the other reason where you actually should be doing that, if you really want to do that, is you get to choose your kitchen, all the upgrades, all the things, countertops, colors of the floors, and everything. Solar panels, like whatever the hell you want, you can select with the builder, including blinds and basement and whatever.
It almost makes you feel that you got that value for money. You have selected everything, and you're constructing that home, and it's yours, and you got it at a great price. Yoo-hoo!
And no, that's exactly it. But at the same time, some people are like, oh, I know quick possession is cheaper, but the countertops are this color, and I don't like this color. So what is quick possession homes? A lot of times somebody else chose what they want, and they decided not to buy, and then you're buying it. And some people ask me, so why would I take something like that? Because somebody else already chose all the colors. Maybe I want my own colors. Maybe I want to, if I'm buying a home, why would I be doing that? Yeah, I'm saving a little bit of money. But then then they start asking me more questions, and then I start asking, so why do you want to pay GST on top of it? Then why do you want to wait? Why do you even need a new home if you can go on a site, like for example, resell, still under warranty, 1 or 2 years old? So there's so many questions to ask, and that's a separate topic because we are already, guys, almost 20 minutes. So thank you for watching, and some thumbs up, subscribe. We'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.